Hey, Stas, the two Marias, Lydia, Artyom, and Alex. We have a new student. This is not the Alex that we usually see. Hello, Alex Poo.
Hello,
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Have we met before?
Now I'm at first in this class.
Is this your first lesson, or did you take any other lessons with another teacher?
I took a couple of lessons with other teachers.
Okay, well, why don't you start by giving us a brief introduction about yourself. Tell us something. Where are you from? What do you do? What are your hobbies?
I'm a driver. I'm from Russia. I take pictures for my hobby. Sometimes do sport. And that's all at first.
Very good. Lovely. Thank you very much for your intro. Nice to meet you, Alex. You don't mind if I call you Alex?
Sorry?
Or do you prefer if I call you Alexander or Alex?
No, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Okay, no problems. All right, so you know the drill, guys. The usual 15-second intro. So we'll start with Andre.
15 seconds? Okay. Okay. I'm from Kiev, Ukraine. I'm a composer and musicologist. I write music. I play the musical instruments. Especially I like saxophone. Also, I have other hobbies, but the music, my sense of my life. I have family, I have many other activities, and that's all for now.
Very good. Thank you very much, Andre. Artyom?
Yes, I'm Artyom. I'm from Moscow, Russia. I'm a regular student of economic degree program, and next year I'm going to join the Finnish University overseas.
Perfect. Thank you, Artyom. Lydia?
Yes, my name is Lydia. I'm from Moscow. I'm personal assistant, but I graduated as a teacher. And my hobby is learning English, reading, and watching video in YouTube. That's all.
Excellent. Thank you. Good to see you. Maria, welcome back.
You ask me or another?
Well, actually, the other Maria.
Oh, no.
I was trying to go in the order.
Okay.
You can see we started from the left.
Okay, it's me?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm from Russia, but I spent a lot of time in France because I'm graduated as a physicist, and now I'm write my PhD thesis in France and in Russia. And every 2 months I go from one country to another country.
Wow. That must be fun.
It must be, yes.
It is, yes. Yeah, we've met before, but it's nice to see you again.
Yeah, it's nice to see you too.
Okay, welcome back. And the other Maria, Ivanova.
Yeah, Ivanovas. Thanks. Yeah.
Is my stress incorrect?
No, okay. It's okay. My name is Masha. I'm from St. Petersburg. I'm a regular student of IELTS class. And I like active life. I have a dog, and I'm very happy girl and woman. That's all. Today I feel this.
Very good. It's good to see you happy.
It's cool.
Yes. So you don't mind if I call you Masha then, just for because we have two Marias, yeah? Okay, no problem. Thank you. Stas?
I'm Stas, I'm 25, I'm a manager, I like to study English. Thanks.
Excellent.
World record introduction. Thank you very much. Sergey.
Yeah, hi Alan, hi everyone. My name is Sergey. I live in St. Petersburg. I'm a PhD student, and my thesis is about bioinformatician. It's a part of computer science, and I think so.
Very good. Thank you very much, Sergey. All right, welcome everyone. So I'll briefly say something about myself, so Alex can get to know us all. So I'm Australian. I have spent most of my life there. I was raised and educated in Australia, and I also spent some time abroad, 5 years in Germany, 2 years in Egypt, and now I'm living in the UK. I've got quite a bit of hobbies. Sports, playing football is one of them, watching football, and history. I also have a keen interest in history. Yeah. Okay. Any questions?
No, thank you.
All good?
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, most welcome, Alex. Welcome to the family. So let us begin. Without further ado, I will now screen share what we usually do for this lesson, which is IELTS preparation. And I don't know if you've watched any of my lessons, recorded lessons, Alex, but what I usually do here is I let the students I'll let you all watch this 10-minute video, and I don't tell you what it's about because I want you to tell me and summarize it for me after the video is has finished. And after that, we will go through a couple of PDFs, namely the study notes and some activities. Okay, so I will now begin the video, and I would appreciate it if all of you could mute your microphones so that there is no background noise. Thank you. And if you'd like, you can take notes, so you can, so it's easier for you to summarize the video later on. All right, so here we go.
Hello, I'm Margot Politis. Welcome to Study English IELTS Preparation. Have you ever wished you knew more words when you were reading or listening? Well, today we're going to show you how you can, just by guessing. It will take a little bit of effort, but you can learn strategies to help you guess the meaning of words you may not know. One of the strategies is using context to guess unknown words. But what is context? Well, context includes the words, phrases, or sentences before and after the unknown word, which helps make the meaning clear. Let's consider an example. Today's story is about helping children learn to read. Here, Chris Brooks is using the phonics method. If you don't know what the phonics method is, can you work it out from the other words used by the reporter? Listen carefully.
Bay, beach, bade, bake.
Chris Brooks is teaching Ashley with what's called the phonics method, which was used by most teachers till the 50s. It breaks words down into their individual sounds.
Okay, now, well, as you've seen, Sonia, what we've done is we've worked with some letters that have a variety of sounds. So the letter C had two sounds, the K sound and the S sound, and you can see they're colour coding, one's purple and one's black. And the same with the letter S, it has a S sound and a Z sound, so they're their common sounds.
The reporter uses the following words and phrases: teaching, phonics method, used by teachers, and breaks words down into their individual sounds. So we can guess that phonics is a method used by teachers that breaks words down into their individual sounds. So using the context, the words surrounding the word phonics, we have some understanding of it. Let's now listen to Chris Brooks again. What other words or phrases help us with the meaning of phonics?
Well, as you've seen, Sonia, what we've done is we've worked with some letters that have a variety of sounds. So the letter C had two sounds, the K sound and the S sound. And you can see they're colour coding, one's purple and one's black. And the same with the letter S, it has a S sound and a Z sound. So they're their common sounds.
Chris uses the phrases, some letters that have a variety of sounds. The letter C had two sounds, the K sound and the S sound. Colour coding. The letter S, a S sound and Z sound. So we can guess that the method focuses on letters that have a variety of sounds. For example, letter C, which has two sounds, K and S. We also know that colour coding is used to help recognise common sounds, and that the letter S has a S sound and Z sound. So we have quite a bit of information about phonics now. From the various contexts we've listened to, can you guess the meaning of the word phonics? How would you define it? Here's a possible guess. Phonics is a method that teaches people to read by learning to recognise the sounds that letters represent. Remember, you don't always need a dictionary to find the meaning of a word. Using the strategy of guessing the meaning of a word from the context helps with your ability to understand, partly because you stay focused on what you're listening to. It also helps build your vocabulary because you're more likely to remember the word. This skill is very helpful in the IELTS listening test because you won't have a dictionary to assist you. Here's a quick test to try out your skills. Can you guess the meaning of the highlighted words from the context? Statistics show that over 1/8 of the adult population in developing countries is illiterate. Governments have set up educational centres to teach this group to read and write. What does illiterate mean? We know that it's an educational matter related to teaching people to read and write, and that it's a large problem in developing countries. Illiterate would mean not able to read or write. Here's another one. John loved singing, so he auditioned for all the musicals. The directors liked the way he sang. What does auditioned mean? We know that John loves to sing, and he sang for directors, the people directing the musicals. So from this, we can guess that auditioned means performed a song for directors to judge whether someone is good enough to be in their show. Okay, now we're going to have a look at the verb to be. To be usually functions as an auxiliary verb, but sometimes the verb to be can function as the main verb. That's when it links the subject and an expression that describes the subject. For example, look at this sentence. Chris is a phonics teacher. Is here is the main verb because it links the expression phonics teacher to the subject, Chris. Okay, the reporter quotes children's author Mem Fox on literacy. What does she say about Australia's literacy rate?
Here is the scared sheep.
Internationally acclaimed children's author Mem Fox says the crisis is a myth and Australia's literacy rate is second only to Finland.
Mem Fox says the crisis is a myth. When the verb to be is used as the main verb in a sentence, what follows is called the complement. This complement defines the subject. The structure of these linking verb clauses or sentences is subject plus to be plus the complement. So we have the subject, the crisis, the linking verb, is, and the complement, a myth. The crisis is a myth. Listen to the clip again.
Here is the sketchy.
Internationally acclaimed children's author Mem Fox says the crisis is a myth and Australia's literacy rate is second only to Finland.
Australia's literacy rate is second only to Finland. Let's look at the structure of the sentence. The subject is Australia's literacy rate. We have a form of the verb to be, is, and then the complement, second only to Finland. Second only to is an interesting expression that means, in this sentence, Australia has the second best literacy rate in the world. Finland is number 1. Let's look at another clip. Can you find another example where a complement is used?
She says we've achieved that by using a range of reading techniques, including phonics. But phonics alone isn't a magical cure for reading problems.
She says phonics isn't a magical cure. The subject is phonics. The verb to be, isn't, short for is not. And the complement, a magical cure. And that's all for today's Study English. Let's review what we've looked at. We've talked about looking at context to guess the meaning of words. And then we looked at using the verb to be to link subjects and their complements. Don't forget to visit our Study English website to find out more. It's at abcasiapacific.com/studyenglish. That's all for today. I'll see you next time for more IELTS preparation. Bye-bye.
Okay, there you have it. Unfortunately, our new student has left. I don't know what happened. So let's get one of you to start. I don't know what happened, but let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe his internet connection was weak. Okay, so I'd like you to summarize it for me, but try to take a minute, but not more than a minute and a half. So between a minute and a minute and a half, please. Okay, so Andre, please give us your summary.
Okay, I'll try to take less than a minute. Margot told us about very interesting things which can help us to pass the exam. First of all, to find meanings of the words from the context of speech, and first of all from keywords with nearest sentences, and she gave us examples about illiteracy, and we can say that it's these are people who can't read and write, and it's a very good point to clearly understand what illiteracy means. The second part of the Margot's speech was dedicated to construction of typical sentences with subject, verb to be and complement which can define the subject. And she gave us some examples. That's all.
Very good. Thank you very much, Andrei. Okay, Artyom.
So, in this video, we're given some tips for preparation to exam, IELTS exam. So, first of them, that we can guess the meaning of word by a context. There were two examples like auditor and the second in literary. Then she told us about how to use to be. This example is on the second to Finland, how I remember, and I think that she gave us some definitions of letters. That some letters have two sounds. That's all.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Artyom. Lydia.
Yes. In this video, I noticed 3 steps. One of them, how increase our vocabulary, even though we don't know the meaning of word, we can know it by in context. And the second step was about phonetics method, how to distinguish some sounds, because one sound can give two, for example, C can be K, K and S. And also about the third step was about verb be, how we use it, and that his role is connect to part of sentence. That's all.
Very good. Thank you, Lydia. Okay, Maria, give us a brief summary of yourself. Of this video.
I agree with the guys, and I have also divided this part on 3 points. So first, it's we should looking at context, looking at words, at phrases, at sentences which are around the word what we want to guess. The second point is a phonics method. I actually don't understand how we can use it, but the video was about that we should break words in individual sounds and then try and understand the whole words. So for me, maybe it doesn't work, but anyway, it's a method which was proposed. And the third method, I think it's the most important. It's correctly use the word to be, not in the grammar sense, but in the sense how to understand a part of the sentence. Because when we have construction with the word to be, usually they have subject and have a complement. And we have to quickly understand where there is the subject, there is the complement, and try to connect the meaning of each part in the mind. And then the sentence will be more clear.
Very good. Yeah, thank you very much for that summary, Maria. Okay, Masha?
Yeah. I find out information about context. Context can help us to understand the new words. We can find information in context in phrases before and after this word, and this can help us to understand the main ideas and issues, and can help us translate this word correct. The second part about using the verb to be with complements, like in example, the crisis is a myth. Subject plus to be plus complement. They need to remember this and use correct, and that's all. And to be can be main word, of course, and in this example, and that's all.
Very good. Thank you, Masha. All right, Stas?
Yeah. Like already guys said, it's very hard to summarize something. So, I find only 2 points, not 3 points, like Lydia and Maria said. That's only one difference in our summarizing. So the first point, it's Margot Palatis help us to preparing for IELTS listenings. And first point is how to know unfamiliar words using a context. In example, with a phonetic teacher. And it's very helpful for IELTS listening to listen in other words, not unfamiliar. And secondly, it's how to use rightly the verb to be, because it helps you to understand what it's talking about. So it's the two schemes, subject plus verb plus complement, and subject plus verb plus something describing. So it might help you to understand something unfamiliar. So that's all.
Very good, Stas. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, and finally, Sergey, yourself.
Speaker has highlighted 2 points in this episode. One is concerned how to guess unfamiliar words by using a context. Context means that from the words that are around unfamiliar word. And the second part was about how to use about to be verb and how it is used to link subject and complements together. Yeah, and that's all.
Excellent. Thank you, Sergey. Very good. All right. You've done really well. I know that there's probably a lot of repetition when you're giving me your summaries, but the whole point of this is not just to say it once. It's for you to practice your listening skills and to then put the video into your own words. Yeah. So all of you have done this, and I'm really impressed, I have to say. Okay, so now let's get into the study notes. Here we are. So let's briefly go through this. Yes, so dealing with unfamiliar words. Here is a study tip which tells us okay, about deducing the meaning of new and unfamiliar words or phrases by using context clues or grammar. This allows you to concentrate on the general sense of what it is you are listening to or reading without interruption. So let's look at this sentence here and consider it. His claims are only theoretical, so they will now need to be tested empirically. If unfamiliar with the word empirically, knowing that grammatically it's an adverb and that the linking word so is used to show a result, and the meaning of theoretical must be somehow contrasted with empirically. Yeah, that will give you sufficient information to deduce the proximate meaning of the word. So these things happen when you're reading something, or you know, even during the tasks in your IELTS examination, you might come across words which you're not familiar with. So these techniques will help you to kind of deduce the understanding and meaning of it. So these are some of the strategies used to effectively and efficiently deal with the meaning of unfamiliar vocab in the absence of a dictionary. Strategies to deal with the meaning of unfamiliar vocab. Now, yeah, it's always possible to access a dictionary, or even necessary to have to always rely on a dictionary, teacher or friend for the meaning of an unfamiliar or unknown word, phrase, or expression you meet. Developing strategies for dealing with unknown vocab is helpful and will stand you in good stead. Two strategies which are examined here include using your knowledge of grammar and using context. So when using your knowledge of grammar, let's have a look here. We have some strategies. So look at the grammatical structure of the sentence. Note the position of the word in the sentence. Where is it located? Check the form of the word. Is it singular, plural, past tense, and so on. Decide the grammatical function of the word and think of any related forms of the word. So this is more grammatical. And then you have many examples here. Let's just read this example, then we move on. So during the intervening years, John completed his studies and moved to Sydney to take up a job. So the word intervening occurs before the noun years and after the article the. It is therefore an adjective. Determining this information narrows down the range of possible meanings of the word and gives an approximate meaning. It is a description of the kind of years. So the ing ending tells us that it is a participial form, and when used as an adjective, these forms have similar meanings to active verbs. Finding related forms of the word, such as the verb form, is another strategy to use. For example, intervening, you know, noun is intervention, the verb to intervene, to break it down. Alright, so that's the grammar, and then we have using the context. You have to basically understand, try to understand what they're talking about in the sentence. Yeah, we would, by linking words and phrases or discourse markers. They're used to connect opinions, facts, or ideas in spoken and written English. So knowing the meaning of these markers helps to understand how facts and ideas are linked, providing a further clue which can help more accurately figure out the meaning of an unknown word or phrase. So this is a very good word to remember. If you don't know it, I'll suggest you translate it or look it up. So let's move on and look at this last page before I start the activities. Yeah, so here we have the meanings on the left and then linking words and some examples or explanations. So if it's a contrast, we might have some linking words such as however, whereas, in spite of this, and so on. So as an example, whereas Jim's attendance in the business communications course is sporadic, his sister's is regular. So sporadic is contrasted with constant, using the linking word whereas. Okay, so this is an obvious contrast. Now, reason, some linking words, because of, since, or for. Assistance had to be given because they were living in dire poverty. The situation had to be serious if assistance was given. Okay. And then we have other meanings such as cause and effect, comparison, rephrasing or clarification, examples or explanations. So I'd like you to check these out in greater detail and study in your free time, because now we will do the activities. So I will give you the link for this right now. Okay, there it is. I hope that link works, guys. Can anyone confirm? Sergey, does the link work that I've given in the chat?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes, it's okay.
All right. All right, so have a look at that, and then you can study it in great detail. So, are there any questions about any of this so far? I know I did quite a lot of talking there.
Need the time to
decipher.
To check it. Yeah.
Okay. Let me open the activities PDF here. Oh, this is the wrong one, I think. Yes, it is. I beg your pardon, that was the wrong one. I have to open it. Okay, here it is. Okay, this is the correct one. So here we have a couple of activities. Hopefully we can try to deduce the meanings of these highlighted words below, and then choose the best definition. So I don't expect you to know these words, but at least try to understand, to see which answer you can eventually decide upon. So, Sergey, would you like to do the first one?
Yeah. When testifying, Jane promised to tell the truth in front of the jury. Unfortunately, she committed perjury, and her evidence could not longer be considered. When testifying, Jane promised to tell the truth. So it should be some untruth. To lie before a court or justice.
Yes, very good. How did you come to this conclusion? How did you deduce the meaning of this word? Or this whole sentence?
Content is content. Yeah, content is to tell the truth in front of the jury. And so, if she committed, unfortunately, it's grammatical structure. Unfortunately, that means that, you know, opposition.
Very good.
So perjury is not to tell truth in front of jury.
Yes. And also, can you see something else? Perhaps this word, she committed. It's like committing a crime. When you make a mistake, we don't usually say commit. You committed something. This is a serious.
Yeah. Committed means that you did it. She did it deliberately.
Yeah. So this is also definitely helps you. Okay, A definitely is not it. C maybe, but this one sounds like a crime. You commit a certain crime, perjury. You can kind of deduce the meaning of that it's a possible crime. Yeah. Well, very good. Well done. Thank you, Sergey. Stas, second question.
The years of drug abuse made him a belligerent person. It's quite frightening to be in his presence. So my first version was depend on drugs, but I have a lot of time, so I find this word in vocab, and I was wrong. The right answer is A, hostile and aggressive. But if we're talking about contexts, I think the C was more appropriate in this case of lesson. So I think it's a big подстава. Sorry. So the right answer is A, but if I didn't know the meaning of this word, I answered C. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Can anyone else try to point out a word in these two sentences that might relate to the correct answer?
Maybe me?
Yeah, go ahead.
So content is quite frightening to be in his presence. So something wrong. He is aggressive, maybe.
Frightening.
Hostile and aggressive.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as soon as see this last sentence, it is quite frightening to be in his presence. So when you are in the presence of someone, you are afraid.
Danger.
You are in danger.
Afraid, yeah.
So quiet and unfriendly, you're not going to be afraid because he's quiet and unfriendly. Dependent on drugs, still doesn't cause any threat to you. This one, hostile and aggressive.
Yes.
I would like to argue because the guy who has years of drugs, he's a dangerous person. You don't know how he will act himself. So I think it's very controversial. It's not so 100% true that it's A. And it's frightening for me. It's frightening to be in one room with a guy who has years of drug addiction. Not because he hostile and aggressive, just on this fact.
Okay.
But it is not about frightening.
If
it's
this
frightening
sentence
for me because he is dangerous, he is unpredictable.
Yeah, he is dangerous.
But it's a consequence of using drugs.
Yeah.
And obviously, belligerent. It's an aggressive condition of the person.
Yeah, I see where Stas is leading to, but if this sentence wasn't there, then you could argue about this. But because that gives us a stronger, point or argument that most likely it's this one. It could be this, yeah, it could be this, but this sentence kind of overrides the first one. But it's it all comes down to us deducing the word in our own mind. Okay, so let's do the next one, Maria or Masha.
There is no connection between these two sentences, and something is under context if C is right.
Okay. Alright, that's fine. Okay, let's try and do these two more. So Masha, you can do 3, and then Maria can do the 4th one.
New evidence was presented to the court, so John was vindicated of the crime. Maybe C, to prove somebody is not guilty.
Yes, very good. That's correct.
Oh, okay. Because I think that indicated it's maybe is direct that it's guilty, but if it's vindicated, maybe it's not guilty. But I'm not sure. in this all tips. In this word tips for answer or not, Alan?
Yeah, can anyone see a clear picture here?
I know the word, but I can't see a clear picture.
I think it's the finger in the sky. Mash.
What?
Sorry?
I think it was a finger in the sky, like we told usually.
Okay. But okay.
Yeah, so here we see that to prove somebody is not guilty, you know, somebody is obviously in court for a reason, because they are charged with something. So here they're saying new evidence was presented to the court, so we know what evidence means. Evidence against something that a person was charged with. So John was vindicated of the crime. So he was in court. Why? Because he was charged with a crime.
I think.
But how we can define guilty or not guilty in this situation if we have no keywords for this?
Because he is already accused, and for me, word new is a keyword. If we say about some new evidence, that means that should change the.
But this evidence also could for proving he's guilty.
Yeah, me too. Be also. It's
to ruin his alibi, but there is a.
That was the court. They don't know guilty he's or not.
Or not.
But, appeared new evidence, so the court is unnecessary because new evidence prove he's guilty. I think it's controversial. It's the same, or B or C, and we can't understand why is C is the right answer. So,
yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Like in the previous question too, I trying to argue, but I was defeated by you guys and Alan.
Yeah, there's always going to be at least, you know, obviously two answers that are possible that can be right.
Previous sentences was more clear for understanding, but here I have not seen any arguments for B or C. Really.
I think vindict is like proved of crime. No? Vindicated.
Of the crime. It also comes down to this preposition. If you understand how to use the preposition and the grammar, it will make it easier for you. Yeah, so John was vindicated of the crime. It's difficult to explain, but when somebody is charged with a crime, it's kind of stuck on you, isn't it? The crime is stuck on you because you are charged with a crime, having committed a crime. So now, new evidence was presented to the court, so now you are vindicated of the crime, kind of released. So it gets a bit tricky. If you can understand the grammatical usage of certain prepositions, that would help you.
It's
but
like
that's more advanced. That's a little bit more advanced.
Yeah,
it's like Russian comma. Казнить нельзя помиловать.
No, in this case, it's the way of grammar, as they say, as Margo Palatis say. You need to look closer to the grammar, like to be. So
Yeah,
now I understand. Thank you, Alan.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, it's not always as clear. I totally understand. So you have to just dig as much as you can. If the context doesn't help you, then you have to look for grammatical explanations. So this is one of the most difficult parts, actually. Yeah. I'm sorry, Maria, but we're gonna have to end it here. I have given you the link for this activities sheet. So I'd like you to practice this, see if you can complete the next or the remainder of these questions, and then you have the answers on the last page to see whether you were correct or not. Okay, and please refer to the study notes as well to help you with understanding, you know, which one is the correct way to look at these things. Okie dokie. All right, guys, that's it. Thank you very much. I'm gonna go and maybe see you in the next 5 minutes in the next lesson.
Sorry, I wanted to ask how to write okie dokie, because I use it also in in my spoken speech, but I don't know how to write it.
I believe it's like this, okie dokie.
Ah, okay.
What does it mean?
It's very informal. It means all right, okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Okie dokie.
Thank you.
Yeah. No problem. All right, guys. Thank you. Good to see you all.
Thank you.
See you
Bye.
next time. Bye.